Hi, MrG Shave, back from the adventure yesterday. I'll let you all know about the detail of that during the video. But this is Shave of the Day, Saturday Shave of the Day, number 90. I asked a question yesterday about whether you like the numbers or not, and the overwhelming response was you like the numbers. So I'm going to keep the numbers. I just wasn't sure because I thought you guys might be getting bored with having numbers, but it seems you guys appreciate that, so that's great. So I'm going to try and do things again a little bit differently this time, and I'm going to try and do it in one hit rather than break it up. I might still break it up, I don't know, probably for the post-shave, just pre-post shave anyway. So I'm going to wet my face down. I'm not going to introduce any products until I actually use them. And you'll see the products on the image at the beginning of the video anyway, so you'll have a fairly good idea of what I'm using. So this is the Ach Brito Glice pre-shave soap, which is basically just a glycerin soap. Any glycerin soap will do for a pre-shave. You know, it's you don't have to buy anything. I can't. For instance, the pears soap that I use, and this Ach Brito soap, I don't see any difference in terms of performance as a pre-shave soap. So I think any glice soap will do the job. Any glycerin soap, glycerin-based soap. So, the soap today is Stirling Executive Man. It's still Stirling week for me anyway. So I'm using Stirling Executive Man. This probably is, out of all the scents, I mean Arcadia is pretty good, but this Executive Man for me is brilliant. Love it. The bowl today, I was in a conversation on Facebook, I believe, and somebody asked the question, I think it was on UKWSS, about what kind of gear they use for travel, and I said I use a Xmas Pudding bowl for shaving. I mean, yeah, a lot of people don't bother with a bowl, but I like to bowl leather, so I take an old, this is probably about 2 years old, maybe even 3 years old. It was a Christmas pudding that we got in a hamper from somebody as a gift, and we ate the pudding, obviously. My mother makes our pudding, so we always have homemade Christmas pudding, but I think it was a New Year's Day treat, we had the Christmas pudding out of this bowl, and it became a free shaving bowl. So that's the bowl I'm going to be using. I've already put the soap in there. The brush has been soaking, so I'm going to take that out, squeeze it. Is the Semogue 830. So I don't think it's dripping. I mean, there is a little bit of water, but so yeah. How's everybody's weekend gone so far? I hope you've all had a good, successful week. As those that watched my video yesterday, you all heard that I had to go into hospital to have a minor procedure on my knee. So let's get into the story a little bit. I'm not going to tell you which hospital it was. I'm not going to mention anything by name. I don't want, you know, I'm not making a complaint or anything like that. You know, at the end I look back and I think it's hilarious. But suffice to say, it didn't go very well. Not at the beginning, anyway. I arrived and they called me in slightly late, about 10 minutes late. Not a problem, that's really good for the hospital I went to. They called me in and there were 2 doctors there. And they went through a bunch of questions, this, that and the other. I couldn't really work out why they had 2. I thought one was a student, he was a young guy. I'm guessing he was newly qualified is the way I look at it, because he didn't have the experience of the other guy. So I think he was being mentored. Anyway, suffice to say, basically the procedure was, I still had swelling on my knee from when I injured it some time ago, and they decided they were going to aspirate it. So stick a great big needle in, pull all the liquid out, and then they were going to stick another needle in and put steroids in. So no big deal, you know, really no big deal. That's why I said I'd be in and out. It was a minor procedure. It wasn't an operation at all. So the young doctor, who looked, you know, old enough to be my son, my youngest son, proceeded. Well, the senior doctor was obviously supervising, and he measured all he was doing all the prep work. So he put the needles together and got them ready for this newly qualified doctor, and just handed them to him. So they sterilised my knee, and everything looked good. And they said, "Do you want to hold my hand?" And I'm like, "Nah, this is fine. I've had these before, and I know that they're painful after, but you know, that's fine." So he inserts the needle into my knee, quite a long way in. I mean, it was a good old needle. Sorry for those that don't like needles and stories like that, but I've got to tell you this. So he inserts the needle and proceeds to try and aspirate. So if you can imagine, you've got your the syringe, and it's a chunky old syringe. It's got a good diameter to it and a good long needle. And he's pulling and aspirating my knee as he goes. But then disaster struck, because he pulled the plunger of the syringe straight out the back of the syringe. So if you can imagine, that plunger's under pressure and you're pulling apart with your hands like that. Well, as he pulled apart, it popped. So one hand went that way and the other hand went that way, and the contents of my knee ended up all over my leg and the bed. But the needle, because it had gone like that, went straight into my patella, into my knee bone. Ouch, I think, was the polite way of describing my. Mind you, I didn't speak at all. I didn't speak at all. It was, an experience. I think they had to scrape me off the ceiling. But yeah, so the senior guy then took over and did it properly. The younger doctor looked a bit sheepish, and I felt quite sorry for him. You know, I used to be in the industry. I wasn't a doctor or anything like that. I wasn't a nurse. I used to do stuff with St. John Ambulance, and I know quite a lot about anatomy and physiology and stuff like that, and I've got experience working with, health services. So that's about ready now, I think. This scent on this is beautiful. I'm going to add a bit more water. So yeah, needless to say, I was in agony when I got back, and I had to drive with my knee feeling like it had been hit with a hammer back home. Maybe I shouldn't have driven, but at the end of the day I did. I mean, they were very apologetic, and to be honest, with everything that the NHS has had to put up, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I might bleep that out. With everything that the health services had to deal with, doctors are tired, they're pulling long shifts, they're stressed. Mistakes can happen, and as far as I'm concerned, there was no harm done. I'm standing on my 2 feet today. I've got a dull ache, that's all. Yesterday, yes, it was bloody painful, but today it's nothing. So you know, I'm not going to take it any further. The people that I've already told what happened, or certainly one of them said, yeah, you know, I would sue them. At the end of the day, it's done no permanent damage. Yes, it caused me pain, but I've been in pain before, and I'm in pain all the time with my back anyway, so I'm kind of used to pain. Yes, I had to take a full dose of tramadol, which is my version of morphine. It's an opiate. It's a very strong opiate and works exactly like morphine. So yeah, I took the maximum dose of that when I got back and had a chemical sleep for a while and had my food. Then I went to bed. I forget what time. I don't think I went to bed that early, but it was, you know, I was back up in my bed lying down by about 9 o'clock in the evening, and just resting my knee. And then I woke up this morning and it's fine. It's no problem. It's no biggie. But funny, you know, I look back at it now and I think it's so funny. The expression on that junior doctor's face was a picture. It really was. It was absolutely hilarious. I mean, he obviously felt awful for what the mistake he'd made. And I could see that, you know, I really could see it. But yeah, it's, it was an experience, it was an adventure, and it's a story that I'll be able to tell. And I bear no grudge against the person that did it or the doctors that were there. You know, they're under enough pressure as it is, and I have complete sympathy with them. And if I'm honest, the only way you learn is from your mistakes. Yeah. One of the best ways to learn in life is from mistakes. So, no biggie. No biggie. Right, I'm ready for the first pass. The razor today is the Muhle Rocca. So there you go, the Muhle Rocca. And I think this needs a bit, water needs to be heated up. Sorry about the water noise. I know some people really don't like that, but I'm trying to wait, get it hot. There it is. Heat up the blade. And let's go. First pass. It's got an Astra SP Green in. So first pass. It's on its second use, this blade. Oh man, that's smooth. That's really smooth with an Astra in here, in this rocker. Really doesn't feel aggressive at all. Really smooth. I can feel the blade, so I do know it is aggressive, but just great sensation. But yeah, so I'm fine today. Thanks for everybody's sort of well wishes and stuff, and I have a story to tell from the experience, and that's fine by me. I'm definitely not going to take it any further. I would, don't get me wrong, I probably would have done if they'd done serious damage, but they haven't done serious damage. I mean, it was a mistake, and yes, it was painful, and yes, they had to pull the needle out of my kneecap. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that because that gets quite gross, but it was really stuck in there. But yeah, add some water here. But it all added to the experience, shall we say? You got to laugh. I remember when I first started in the industry, and I made a few mistakes. but there was always someone there to mentor you and correct it, and that's exactly what happened this time, and that's fine. I'm not going to go overboard. Just, I know all hospitals have insurance for stuff like this, but I'm just not one to litigate against people just for the sake of it. Right. I think it would be different, you know, if I was paying for it, but because the system we have in the UK is free, I've kind of given away, you know, it was a National Health Service appointment anyway, so I can say that. But I mean, you know, if I'd gone private, then yeah, I might have been tempted to say, I want some money off, mate, you know, I want some compensation, but I'm not paying for it. You know, the National Health Service is free and I'm proud of it. And they've done no harm. This was just a minor mistake that's going to leave no permanent damage. I mean, don't get me wrong, if they'd hit a nerve and numbed the, you know, completely, if I lost the use of my leg, or which was one of the things they said could happen. If that had happened, then I would have been pretty upset. And I may well have taken it further if they'd done something that affected my life in a negative way, then yeah, maybe. But this was just nothing. As I've said before, and you all know, those that have been watching my channel, I know what pain is. Oh, I've nicked myself. Well, not nicked. There's a little weeper there. And weepers don't count. So, God, I'm making a mess of my t-shirt again. God, I love this soap. The scent on this soap, it's got to be my favourite. Arcadia comes very close, but this is just, love it. And I heard somebody the other day said this smelled like Persil. I don't get Persil at all. I really don't. This is just really nice masculine scent. I don't have the scent notes. I'll put them up there. But it's a well-known, and I think probably one of the top sellers from Stirling. I am leaning on the sink a little bit now. It is beginning to ache a bit, but you expect that. So against the grain on this side looks like I'm going across, but this is against the grain on this side. I haven't talked much about the razor. The razor is an aggressive razor. I would say actually it's probably more aggressive than the Edwin Jagger 316 and the Game Changer 0.84, but that's just my personal experience. I don't know what others think of it, but I think it's, for me, I think it's a bit more aggressive than the Game Changer 0.84 and the Edwin Jagger 316. But I love this razor. I love the design, the way there's no slots in the bottom, it all comes out here. I mean, that's stunning. It just looks stunning. And it wasn't in my Magnificent 11, I must admit. But I was that close to putting it in there and dropping another razor. It would certainly be part of my Magnificent 12, the tag video, but we only had 11, so. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right, let's have a feel around, see if I need pickups. Yep, I do need pickups. Usual spots on the corner of the jaw there. nothing there, but I've got to go under here a bit. I've missed a couple of bits here. Yeah, just a little bit of pickup, but a great shave. Really enjoyed it. Another story I wanted to talk about is a company that I bought some furniture off. Very well known company in the UK. Starts with S, furniture company. Oops. I bought some furniture off them a few years ago now. And it was leather furniture. And that furniture, within 18 months, well, certainly the one piece of furniture, the chair, started to lose the paint on the headrest and on the arm. And I raised an issue with them, and they sent an engineer out, and their engineer said it's the oils on your head that's taking this paint off the leather. How ridiculous is that? Why doesn't it happen in your leather seated car then? Why have all cars with leather seats not got these great big patches on? Why has none of the other furniture in my room got those patches on? Well, I tell you what, never again. Never ever use that company again. I wouldn't recommend them to man or dog. I really wouldn't. You know, the lady was polite enough on the customer services line. I told her, you know, that I plan to take it further. But in general, I think that leather furniture, the way that it's treated, the way that the coatings are put on it, is far... It's a really low standard, I think, and I think, you know, there's got to be a major difference, because you think about that leather that's used in your car seats, even if it's faux leather, within 18 months you don't get great big patches where your head was on the headrest, you know. So yeah, I would never buy leather furniture again, and I certainly wouldn't use that company again, and I will be leaving reviews on Google and things about them on Trustpilot and wherever I can. But yeah, a bit of a rant, nothing shave related, but you know, if I'm honest, I think if I bought leather furniture from anywhere, I'd probably have the same problem. It's so inferior quality, the coatings they use on it, that I just wouldn't buy leather furniture again. Not now. Never again. But there we are. So rant over. Don't worry. You don't have to comment below about it. I'm just sort of making my point, I guess. I'm trying to sort of point out a problem that if any of you think you want to buy leather furniture, don't. Really don't. Right. Let's do the pickup. Or if you do, you're going to need to cover it all the time. And that, to me, there's no point in having leather furniture if you're going to cover it over. You want to sit on it. So it's not something I'd ever consider buying again. Right, I am going to pause the video because I just want to clean up, and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, all cleaned up, razors clean, bowls clean, everything's all cleaned away. Onto the cold rinse. Put some on my head as well. Let's go with the alum. Yeah, I mean, as I say, I don't think it's just that one company. I think any leather furniture sold in main brand retailers here in the UK, it's all about trying to make the most profit, I think. Didn't realise I'd got a weeper up there either. And so they use the cheapest materials they can get away with. But the fact is, if you use cheap materials, you're going to get complaints, and then they man their customer service phone lines, they underman them, and you have to wait an hour. I waited an hour and 15 minutes, I think, before I actually got on to the customer service. Yes, they've got these so-called helplines or help sort of links for help on their websites, but to me they're just a cop-out. Right, bit of burn, probably 2 out of 10, all over equal. Very nice. Very nice. But yeah, so that's my rant done anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this shave and the story of the experience I had in hospital and the story of the experience I've had with customer services at this one particular company today. I hope I've not offended anybody, but I just had to have the rant. I really did. But, you know, people should know, you know, they buy this leather furniture and it all looks great. Little do they know that as soon as you put any skin element of your body on that furniture, you start to waste away the coating on the furniture and you end up with patchy leather. The paint comes off basically over a period of time. Now I think I was unlucky in that. Oh yeah, I haven't told you what I've been using. Humphreys cucumber and melon witch hazel. Brut. I'm trying to use this up because I've got a new bottle in the cupboard that's dying to come out. That's the aftershave, and the L'Oreal. I wanted a bit of a cooling effect at the end of this because I needed to cool down. So I've gone for, the writing's too small. L'Oreal Hydra Energetic Ice Cool Effect Post Shave Gel. So that's it there. So that's what I'm about to throw on my face. But yeah. With regards to Monday, I'm going to do a shave on Monday, so keep an eye out for that. I was thinking I have a day off, but you know what? I actually enjoy doing the Battle of the Blades. So if I'm going to take a day off, it'd probably be the series of shaves, whether it's a Wednesday straight or a head shave, whichever one I generally get lower views on, will be the video that I'll probably drop to have a bit of a break, but I don't know when that will be. But I have got a list of Battle of the Blades to do, so I want to try and get through them. And then after that, you know, if nobody's requested a Battle of the Blades, then I won't do a Monday shave, or if I've got a tag shave, I'll do it on a Monday. The Monday is sort of the tidy up the loose ends day. So that's me for today. Shave over, great shave, great fun. It's bye-bye from me. Bye-bye from the Muhle Rocca razor. Fantastic razor. The workmanship on this, stunning, second to none. And it would have been in my Magnificent 11, but the ones that I had the ones that I did include just pipped this. Mainly because I think the 316, it was between this and the 316 at one point, and the 316 just wins over for me because that's probably, that alongside the Carve is my favourite razors. So there we are. Right, I will see you all on Monday now for the Battle of the Blades. See you then. Bye now.